Good evening. Tonight we're going to have a look at something slightly different. I'll just turn it down. This is the Hitachi Voyage FM medium band, medium wave, long wave, super sensitive portable receiver. Its model number is the KH-1170E. Now, this is part of the hobby which I quite like, and that's broadcast AM-DX'ing. And this particular radio is set up specifically for that. Now, obviously it was marketed towards the marine enthusiast, and as a consequence it had the ability to do some direction finding on it, and sort of for that purpose it is only covering the lower bands. You can see here on the, it covers long wave around about 150 kilohertz to 350 kilohertz. It covers medium wave 530 kilohertz to 1605 kilohertz. Covers the medium band, which they call low shortwave band, or 1.6 kilohertz to 4.5 megahertz. And of course you've got your standard FM broadcast band of 88 to 108 megahertz there. I'll just turn that other radio off. Here you have a dial light, which is just a push on job. We'll come back to that in a minute. Very large speaker. Here's your wave change switch. Here's your main tuning control, your on-off button. This has a BFO on it, and also it has, you can switch between the receive function or just check your battery if it's running on battery. It also has the capability of running on AC too. Here's a useful tuning indicator, which is very useful if you are doing radio direction finding with this particular receiver. Here you've got a position which is basically an RF sort of control. However, it's set when it's pushed in, and if you pull the knob out, it actually engages a secondary circuit, which is a much smaller ferrite rod within the receiver, and it makes that coupled with the main ferrite rod, you can start doing direction finding on on your main medium wave or long wave stations. Here you've got a volume control, and here you have just the tone control. As I said earlier, here you've got a very good rotatable ferrite rod antenna, one of the largest that I've come across in a portable receiver, with a dial scale there set up in degrees, so again you can do your radio direction finding with that particular receiver. There's nothing on that side. On the rear of the radio, again you can see the details of the particular receiver there. Made in Singapore, which is unusual, but 6 volt DC and or AC 240 volt. In this here we have 4 D cells for your batteries. On this side of the radio you have a DIN socket for tape output. Here you have, I suspect, an external or speaker or a headphone socket, and here you have an external DC input there for 6 volts, and of course down here you've got your AC input. Handy carrying handle there, and of course a telescopic antenna there. Now, just to give you a bit of an idea, got a good little dial scale there. That's a local ABC station. Yeah, just tuning there. Now that would be 7BU burning in Tasmania, which is around about, I suppose, 1400 or 1500 kilometres from here. And yes, it is evening reception, but you can see there the signal is quite good, and it's performing quite well. Now we can just swing the antenna around a little bit there, and I was just seeing, I thought I might have heard New Zealand. I thought I might have heard New Zealand in there.
3 Melbourne, 2 and 20. 20, Adelaide, most of the 21.
Pardon me while I'm just tuning around here.
34.
Plenty of stations to listen to there. And we're just stuck up here for a sec. There we are.
And the odd shower for you. I'm Tony Doe, that's News Talk ZB, News, Sport and Weather.
There's News Talk ZB from Wellington in New Zealand on 1035 kilohertz.
On News Talk ZB.
And you can see there an excellent signal of News Talk ZB on 1035 kilohertz. Let's slip over onto shortwave, or medium band I should say then in this case. See if there's anything on the 80 metre band. No. There's a little bit there on the 75 metre band. Unfortunately it's very limited with shortwave reception, but as I say, it was designed primarily for radio direction finding for mariners. Nothing there heard. I'll just go down on the 90 metres. Nothing much there either. And slide down. Oh, here we go. This is what have we got here? Very touchy tuning, resolving sideband there, but that's one of the marine weather stations. I'd say it's fairly marginal in that regard. Anyway, at least the BFO works. There's no control on the BFO, it's just a set output, so your tuning is wholly and solely done by your main tuning. This is where you really need a fine tuning control to resolve sideband a little bit better than that. And we can drop down on the upper end of the broadcast band.
Interesting ways of teleprompter Trump and Twitter Trump.
Of course, there's nothing on short long wave here in Australia, apart from aeronautical beacons. See if I can find one. There's one there. What have we got? That's CWR, Cowra, which is 100 kilometres away from my QTH. So there's a little bit of a few aeronautical beacons still there. Unfortunately, doesn't quite go up to the local aeronautical beacon. We'll just turn that down a bit and duck over onto FM. And that's Lithgow. That's probably around about 60 odd kilometres away. It's a full deflection. There's plenty of stations there. Yeah, so FM's quite sensitive. Now, and you can see there's a little bit of movement in the dial scale there. Okay, well there we go. There's a brief look at the Voyage, the Hitachi Voyage, the KH-1170E, and an unusual set. But as I said earlier in the presentation, I'm quite interested in high performance AM radios, and this certainly is one of them. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight's presentation. Cheers.